Hello and welcome to Stamping with Teresa tonight. I'm just going to see if I can get this to flip over or whether it's already flipped over. Just let me have a little look at a catalogue and see if the words are around the right way for you. No, they're not. I'm just going to do that. I come on a little bit earlier because I find it actually works better if I do it when I'm on. So, okay, let's hope that worked better. Yes, very good. Hello Brenda, lovely to see you. I'm loving that I'm getting the writing around the right way. So tonight we're going to be sharing some Sale-A-Bration stamp sets and some of my favourites too. So the first one we're going to share, we're just going to share a little technique tonight. It's called Black Magic, and I just love Black Magic technique. I use it quite a lot, and it's working on black cardstock. But we're going to do by the bay, so we're going to use a little bit of sample on this one, a little bit of Loving Letters, and Home to Roost with the rooster one. So we're going to share a little bit of the technique going that way. Hello Melissa, lovely to see you on here tonight. Oh, thank you for all the love hearts. So don't forget to like my page, share it with your friends, and put a comment down what's your favourite stamp set at the moment. Who knows, you might get a prize. I think Brenda got one last month. I think her extra came in her order with her order. So who knows who's going to get it this month. Anyhow, we'll see. So I am a fraction, just a couple of minutes early. So I'm just going to talk about the Sale-A-Bration. Don't forget, if you place a $90 order, hi Karen, you can receive a free product. And that's the reason why I'm sharing some of the free products tonight. Because with a $90 order you can receive these ones, and they're just absolutely beautiful. Hi Diane. Hi Leanne. Wow, Wednesday night must be a really good night. Thursday night maybe not so good. Maybe we might change our night. It's lovely to see you all come on. I'm really happy having customers on here, new customers on here. Hi Diane. And also demonstrators. I love to share techniques, and tonight we're doing that Black Magic, which is really cool. I love it. It's using the watercolor pencils again, and when I get onto a roll with using a coloring technique, I just love going back to some of my very old favorite techniques and sharing them with you. So if you haven't done it before, enjoy. If you have done it before, maybe you might pick up a tip or two. Anyhow, I'm going to bring the camera down so you can sort of see what we're doing down here, and I'll come back to you at the end of the video. Okay, let's start. Let's see if we can get this paper right. Okay, so we're going to work on black cardstock tonight, and we're using our Whisper White craft ink, and we're going to stamp out our images. Now, I have stamped out some a little bit earlier, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyhow, because it's important to do that. And you sort of see the white actually when it comes onto the stamp. I wouldn't clean that straight away on your cleaning mat or on your chamois. I would actually use some wet paper towel and wash that off first. Okay. Also, you can give it a little bit of spray with our stamping mist. That does help bring the stamp set back to life again. So yeah, just use the stamping mist, and it just brings the, as you can see, it cleans it up really nice. And that's the quickest way to clean the white off. I wouldn't put it onto your, if you wanted a white chamois, like one chamois just for your white, that's fine, but you can sort of see that cleans it up really good. So that's our rooster. And he's quite gorgeous. I really like him, and I like it with the wheat too. So I'm going to show you a real quick technique with that, but I'm just going to stamp out another image onto this one because they take a little bit of time to dry, and if these dry, in time. I'll share them with you if we've got time. So I'm just going to bring in the beautiful little birds in the water. Yeah, so once again I'm just going to spray a little bit of my spray mist on. If you haven't got spray mist, it's a really good idea to get some, because it keeps the stamps conditioned, stops them from getting brittle, and I love to clean all my stamps with them. Even though I put them on the chamois, the new chamois that we have, or the cleaning mat, whichever one you prefer to use, I still like to clean them with at least that spray at least once a week or something like that, especially if I've been using the stamp a lot. Now we'll just put those two up there to dry out. Now I did stamp out a rooster and some wheat here, which is really gorgeous, and I'm just going to show you a quick way of doing this. This is what I call a quick one. So we're going to use our white pencil, and we're going to colour in our bottom part of the rooster, okay, with the white pencil. Now because it's in layers, I do it in layers, or otherwise you might get a little bit confused on, you might not see all your white markings as good. So come in with your, so I'm using the crushed curry pencil over the top of it. Now it's probably going to be a bit hard for you to see, I'm not sure, but let's see. So we're going to do that one. Then we're going to come in with the white on this section here. So we're just doing section by section. So this is what I call a really quick little card. If you've got a card that you want to do for a friend, you can do this technique pretty fast. But then again, it can take quite some time if you're doing flowers, which I'll show you later. So I'm just going to bring in a little bit of green, a little bit of different colour blue, and maybe a bit of orange in on this one too. So we're bringing in some colours on this one over the white. Now I'm just going to come up to the top bit here, and I'm going to colour in this bit in the white. So you need to put your white pencil down first, okay, to bring the colour through nicely. So now we're going to do the top of, so we can bring in some other colours. So we're going to bring in some orange on here, and I'm just going to do his little beak in orange. We can bring in some reds, because it doesn't matter what colour you bring into your rooster. You can bring in whatever colour you want. I think roosters have got so many beautiful colours. I'm going to come in with the blue up here. So you can come in with however you want to come in with. Now once you get the colours down there, you need to use your aqua painter. Now a lot of people have a hard time with the aqua painter, especially when they press, because when you press the water comes through to the tip. Now if you do, you can always get it wet and take the tip off. So you're just working with this bit so it doesn't get overly wet when you're first learning. Or you can leave your barrel empty and just have a glass of water where you dip your tip into it, and have a piece of paper towel that you can just, I'll put the piece of paper towel over here so you can see what I'm doing. So you can just wipe your tool backwards and forwards on the paper towel so it's not overly wet. Now you're actually going to paint this, and it will actually change in colour. And the more water you have, the more it will change. So we're going to just mix these in. And this is using the watercolour, the aqua painter, which is like a water painting, and these are watercolour pencils, so they do colour in. Now last week we used the blender marker, the blender pen marker, but this week we're using the aqua painter. Now you can actually block that off if it's a little bit too dark, and then you can come in and do the tail just over the top of the white ink. So we're going to do a little bit of orange and a little bit of green, and he's just such a beautiful rooster, this one. And we might bring a little bit of brown in as well. Okay, now to colour in these wheat down the bottom, because the little wheat is already got white on it, I don't go back over it with the white pencil. I just go over the wheat with crushed curry or yellow, whatever colour you want your wheat. Okay, so just really fastly go over your white and colour it in. Okay, you get the drift. And then you come down and you start going over your white here. Okay, so you can come in with the white, the greens, you can come in with some browns, and come in with a darker green. Okay, and this is one I just did a little bit earlier to save a bit of time to show you how gorgeous it looks as a card. Now, being on the black, I've brought the So Saffron in just to bring it out a little bit. If you put it onto a dark card, you might lose it, but you might like to mat it onto a lighter card and then a darker card. So the rooster is just beautiful. So that's a quick way of doing that one. Okay, let's see if these are dry. When you're testing these, make sure that you're actually, if you want them dry quick, you can actually, what was I going to say? The heat tool. You can use the heat tool on it to dry it quick, but because it's quite warm tonight, we probably don't need the heat tool. So we're just going to quickly come through. I'm going to come through a little bit with my white pencil as well. Not all of it, but just some of it. Just highlighting with the white pencil where I want some white, because it does give a nice effect with the black as well. A different type of effect. Keep coming in with different colours too. Don't just do one colour when you're doing water and stuff like that. Bring in some other colours. Okay, so with your little birds, you'll want to go over them a little bit slightly. Okay, just slightly go over them so that they, and when I say slightly, you don't have to go very dark with the white. Some things you have to go do 2 or 3 layers, which we'll get to that in a minute. So we're starting off the easiest things, and then we'll go through and do some harder things. So you can sort of see you're going to want little orange beaks, so just pop little orange beaks on there. Now, be careful when you're sharpening your pencils, because they are a watercolour pencil, they will break very easily. So make sure you have a very good sharpener, you know, a good sharpener that you can actually sharpen them and have a point if you want a point. I like mine a little bit flat to work with because I find them easier to smooth along on the paper. If they're not, so I usually get on there and scribble a little bit to get them flattened down a little bit. I don't like the points, because if they break off, then it gets all messy down here. So we're going to come in with a yellow, just to bring in a little bit of yellow over the birds. And it is, I know, going to be hard to see, unfortunately, on the camera, but let's hope you can get a bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. And it is just a beautiful technique. Wait until you see the flowers. So bring a little bit more white in where you want the white, and a little bit more colour where you want colour. You know, if you want to colour the background, you can. You might want to have to colour it with the white a little bit first and leave some. We'll just do a shadow on this one. So we just come in a little bit with a shadowing effect around your birds. Okay, so, and then you can sort of just come up with a bit of a highlight there. Then you can come in with the blue. We can go with a different colour blue. If you got the old pencils and the new pencils, you'll have a lot more colours. But if not, it doesn't matter. The colours that are in our beautiful colour pack are absolutely to die for anyhow. and on the back it tells you the colours that you're going to get. So they're really, really lovely to use. Okay, and then you can sort of come down a little bit into effect this way. You can bring in some reflections, so you can bring in a little bit of orange coming through and just carry it down into the water area so it looks like a bit of a reflection coming down. If you want a moon, you can punch out a circle. That's easy with a little circle punch. I haven't got one in front of me tonight, so we won't worry about that, but I have got a full moon, so we might do a little bit different, so we might bring it in this way. So if you want to do that, you colour over the top of it. Okay, so you colour over your post-it note. Normally you'd have a post-it note, so you'd colour over your post-it note. And that will give the effect of the circle. And you'll see what I mean, you'll get this effect going around like this. And then you can highlight back with your white pencil too. And you can keep using that white pencil and use it as a blender as well. Okay, so you can sort of see you get this beautiful effect with the birds and that. I hope you can sort of see that. You might not be able to see that on there, but I'm hoping you can. So I would then put that onto a white background, and I've used one of the embossing folders, and then I would pop that onto a white card. But you could also add some ribbon around that. You can put some words on that as well. Okay, so that's another one. Now the other one that I really wanted to share with you tonight was our lattice one. Now I hope you can see that. I don't know where to put it so you can actually see it. Okay, I might try to bring this down a little bit lower and see if you can see. Okay, so we're going to start by colouring in. I've coloured and done some of it because it takes so long with this one. So I've actually going to colour each of the petals in white. And you can sort of see a really distinct colouring in white. And I like to do one petal at a time. That sounds a bit funny, but then I can see where I'm going. So I'm going to bring down, I'm using the Flirty Flamingo, which is in our new pack, and I'm using the the Cherry Cobbler, which is in our new pack too, and I'm going to use the Granny Apple, and I'm going to use the Garden Green. So they're the colours that I'm using on this one. So I'm going to bring in the Flirty Flamingo. So we come in and we do the Flirty Flamingo and we colour that. Now this one, to get the beautiful technique, takes a little bit longer to do. So then I would actually just come down either from the top, if I want it from the top, or from the bottom if I want to come up from the bottom. So I want a little bit on the top because I've got this other flower here. And this is the Cherry Cobbler. And then I'd come up around the side of the petal with the Cherry Cobbler. Okay, so I've got my first little petal done. Now we're going to go into the next one. And like I said, I like my pencils flat. I don't like a point on them because I like them to come over my work, over the card, very smooth. And this gives a very smooth, as you can see there, very smooth with the white. The same with the Flirty Flamingo. I like to have that flat spot. So this does take a little bit of time, but it's called Black Magic, and it is magic. It looks amazing when it's all done. Absolutely looks amazing. And I'll finish these cards off and put them up on my Facebook page when I get them finished. Now you can also come in with the aqua painter. Now you don't want your aqua painter too wet. Okay, so you might want to damp it off a little bit, and then you can come in. It comes up, because you've got the white underneath it too, it will come up and really highlight little black bits where you want them as well. So you just want to be careful you don't have too much water on this. So you can get different highlights. Now if you're not happy with it, wait until it dries, then go back over it again, okay? You can go back over it again once it's dried. But don't try to put layer over layer over layer. Let the layers dry. And if you're in a hurry, because you want a card in a hurry, use your heat tool and dry it that way. Okay, so it's a really beautiful way of doing this. So if you do two petals together, you can sort of see how you lose your lines, and if you do the whole flower, sometimes it can just look like a big white blob and you lose each of your petals. So that's why I sort of recommend that you sort of do them one at a time, because that way you won't lose your petals, and you'll get that nice shading going through there. Now you can use your white pen to blend as well, your white pencil I mean, to blend as well. So if you had a section like I had here that I wanted a little bit more white, I would come through and highlight it up again with my white pencil, because now this is dried from the watercolouring, and I can actually highlight this up a little bit more, and it makes your flower really, really pop. So it takes a little bit of time because you're adding colour onto it, but it looks absolutely amazing. Your flower looks absolutely amazing when you're finished. So you can sort of see that it's starting to bring a flower shape in. Now this one here, I would just come back over with my white, and then come back in with a little bit of the dark. And sometimes you don't want to do very much, but a few little strokes. You don't want too much happening, otherwise you lose your whole petal. Okay, once again, don't want your petal, your aqua painter really wet. I really like my little one, but I don't know where I've put it at the moment. Yeah, so you get two aqua painters when you're actually painting. You get one which is the big one, which I'm using tonight, or a really fine one, and I like using the fine one for this, but somewhere while I was doing this I've put it down. Can't find it, but that's okay. But you can sort of see, you can get your flowers really happening the more and more you work on them, and they become beautiful. So once again you start bringing in your white again, and that's the reason why I did so many coats, because we did white, flirty flamingo, then we come over with our cherry cobbler at the ends, and now we're highlighting with the white and blending again after we've already used the aqua painter on these ones. And you have to let them dry, and that was the reason why I sort of let them dry, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to show you the whole technique. So you can sort of see that starts to shape the flower. Now the centre of the flower, you want to do the same thing. You want to just do section by section. You want to start off with, I might go with the dark cherry cobbler in here. And then on these bits, I'm just going to go around with the white pencil and blend it in, and then I'm going to come in with the flirty flamingo and blend that in a little bit. Now if you want to come in with a yellow or an orange, you can do that. So you can come in with a little bit of yellow over the top of that if you want to. And I find that picks up the white really well. So that gives you a nice centre. So that's a really lovely way of doing it. Like I said, it is a layer over layer. If you wanted to lighten that off a bit more and come and work on it a bit more, you would use your aqua painter, wet it and blend it, and then come back, let it after it dries and do a bit more. Now you can see these flowers up here have started to dry off, so I'm going to just get my white pencil and blend it in a little bit more here. And they look really awesome. So you can get this beautiful shaped flower. Now if you're going to do a leaf, we'll pick a leaf. This one over here will be good. Now we're going to colour this leaf in white, and there's a little bit of a stem to this flower in here, so we're just going to colour that as well in the white. Now we're going to use the Granny Apples. I keep going to say Granny Apple Smith, but it's Granny Apple Green. I keep thinking of the apple. And we're going to come in with the lighter colour on the middle part. So we're going to blend that in. And then we're going to come in with the garden green. And you're going to sort of, you've got your lines there. Your little lines there, that if you want to follow through a little bit, you can with your garden green, and just go over your white lines a bit. We just want this little bit coloured in garden green too. Now once you get it like this, you will want to use your aqua painter and give it a blend. And we do give it a blend because you need to blend it. Once you've blended it up and you add your next colour, it'll come up so much nicer. Just keep putting your little layers on. Now this one we'll come back and put our Bloody Flamingo on. So we're just coming down through the middle here, which is really lovely. And then we're going to use the Cherry Cobbler. Now you don't have to do big long strokes and colour over the top of it. You're just doing little, I'm just going to do it in little strokes so you can sort of see. So you're just doing little strokes. And you can sort of see that you're getting that petal to start to shape. Can you see that? I hope so. So you can sort of see that it's starting to shape up. Sorry. Okay, now they're beautiful techniques. So when I finish this, I will make it into a card. This was our rooster, and he was really, really gorgeous to do, and that was the one that we did tonight. And this was our birds. Now I just want to share a few other cards. Okay, I'm going to come up here. Hi Robin, lovely to see you. Okay. So this is one of, I call this a little bookmark card. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it just says a little note, but it opens up. And this is using our By the Bay stamp set, which is a free Sale-A-Bration one with your $90 order. So how beautiful is that? It's a really gorgeous little bookmark, and you can open it up into a card, and it says just a note, so you've got plenty of room to write, and you've also got a piece on the back, and you can put blank ones on the black back as well on the 3 panels, and you've got like a little letter that you can send, or a little note that you can send to people. So this is just a note, and it's to do with that beautiful By the Sea. How gorgeous is that? It looks gorgeous. Anyone would love to get that in their mail. The other one that I really liked is blending this one in, the lace lattice one. I'll just grab that one. the lovely lace. This is this one. And colouring the flowers, and I did it in quite a few different coloured flowers this time with the pencils, for the simple reason I wanted you to sort of just see that you can use any colour in your flowers. And I've used the aqua painter in painting with these ones, so they really do look beautiful. So the stamp set is another $90 order. You get this stamp set for free in the Sale-A-Bration. So that's really lovely. And our chook one is the card that I showed you before, which is really gorgeous. And if you know someone that's called Chook or anything like that, I know a lot of people's nicknames are Chook, but this is gorgeous, and it's got some beautiful sayings. It says, enjoy the simple moments, thanks for your friendship, just a note, and missing you. And it's just a gorgeous one, and this is also a free Sale-A-Bration one with a $90 order, and it's just beautiful, and that is using the black magic technique. So I hope everyone enjoyed this tonight. I hope they enjoyed the black magic technique. It's hard to make a full card when you're doing this because there's a lot of layers onto it. So yeah, you sort of got to add your white, add your colours, and then blend, and then add your white to blend it in a bit more, and add your colours until you get it to the colours that you want. Don't forget to like my page, share my page, and write down what is your favourite stamp set. Also, if you haven't received a catalogue and a Sale-A-Bration in the post yet, please message me, private message me, and your address, and I would post one off in the next few days. I'll post one off for you. So please make sure you do that, otherwise you'll miss out. Sale-A-Bration goes through until the end of March, so it's really handy to have these little books because you can get to see all the different products that you can receive, and not just that, you can get to see different ideas. They share different ideas, so you can sort of see that chook one there, which is really gorgeous, and on that page they've given you some ideas as well. Also, Pinterest is a really good place to go. A lot of people are putting stuff on Pinterest at the moment, so it's a really good place to go and have a look if you've never stamped before. Don't forget, you can place orders with me from anywhere in Australia, and especially if you haven't got a demonstrator. So yes, I have been asked that a couple of times now, so yes, you can order from me. And these are free classes usually on a Thursday night. Tonight I'm doing it Wednesday night because my grandson's birthday is tomorrow night and we're all going out for tea. And I think that's a little bit special for Tynan to have his nan there too. So enjoy the week, and hope you're surviving this hot weather that we've been having. Lovely to see you all. Hi to all of you, and I'll reply to your comments. Okay. Thanks a lot. Catch you later. Bye.